How's everybody doing? Can I please get a quick confirmation that you can hear me loud and clear? Just to be sure. Perfect. Took a little bit there because of the Twitch delay, but I think we are ready and clear to get started here. Okay, let's just start up a new game. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go! Hello everybody, I am Zinfogel, and today we're going to be running Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance. That's right, we have a handheld Harry Potter game. Most of you might be more familiar with the PC and the console Harry Potter games, where you got a 3D adventure game with Harry exploring a world and whatnot. But for this game, we take a quite different turn. We have a turn-based RPG, starring your usual protagonists. We have our boy Harry here, Harry Potter, the boy who lived, and he shall embark on a grand journey to complete his school year. It's gonna be pretty exciting. So to start things off here, we are presented with a tutorial battle, which is called the Monster Book of Monsters. It's gonna be a recurring enemy throughout the run, and just teaching us what we can do, that we can cast spells, we can also earn things. Also, do not mind the sentient Game Boy SP, he just tells us what to do sometimes. So the story starts with our boy Harry. This is before the school year begins. And due to multiple reasons, he's residing in a tavern, a perfectly fine place for a teenager to hang out. And we meet Ron's parents and our best buddy of all time, Ron Weasley. Ron Weasley has a rat called Scabbers, and this friendly fellow is actually a little sick, and Ron is requesting our help to get some medicine for Scabbers. And Scabbers turns out to be a somewhat important character as well. He will be coming back sooner or later. Yeah, man, like recently I learned that there is a Harry Potter game for almost every console in existence. It's a little shocking here. So, we start on our first dungeon, we get a chance to test out our spells, and here I'm gonna do some tech to dispel this Lumos that doesn't go away quickly enough. And I'm gonna be battling a few enemies here. This is not something I normally do on PvE attempts, but just to get a little more safety for the fierce boss of the encounter of the dungeon here. It's gonna help a lot to get this extra level up, so I'm looking to get around 5 experience short of the level up, and then I'll also take the chance to use an event to finish that off. So our combat here is pretty simple. We can cast spells, we got a repertoire. At the moment it's Flipendo, Vermilius, and Incendio. Consider these like your elements of the game. We can cast all of these at any time, but certain enemies are resistant or weaker to certain spells, and their enemies are just flat out immune to things we can cast. So it's somewhat important for us to know ahead of time what we can hit what we can use to hit certain enemies. Fortunately though, we don't spend that much time battling random encounters. As a rule of thumb, I just don't do random encounters, and we skip grinding altogether, but just for this marathon safety, I'm gonna get ahead and do this. Okay. Not a big fan of Harry's HP count here, but it's surely alright. One more battle out to do. Also, we should get a little bit of defense by equipping a robe we got from the Monster Book of Monsters we fought at the start of the game. Something good about this game, as you might notice, is that you don't have a strictly random encounters per se. You can see every monster on the field as you navigate dungeons, and with very cautious movement, you can dodge every encounter. The problem though is that the enemies move randomly, like they can sometimes take sharp turns and get you. So a part of the route is understanding enemy behavior and knowing how enemies can move around in order to dodge them. But we are officially done with all the grinding I will do in the entire game. I only wanted the level 3 level up, just to make the next boss a little bit safer. I'm a little embarrassed here by miss the door. Okay. And despite the preparations I made, I'm going to make another backup here, because if I am unfortunate enough to meet the RNG of this game, we could still get our back handed to us. But here we got the Giant Rat, the fierce boss of the game. This battle can be really tricky if the Giant Rat decides to get ahead of me. Like the agility factor in this game is a little random. For the most part, enemies can just decide to go get ahead of Harry, and that can be a problem. But we did not miss, alright. On PB attempts, that battle is a nightmare, because I only do it with a level 2 Harry that has only 42 HP to work with, so if the Giant Rat gets a couple high rolls, it's nearly impossible to survive the battle. But with the extra HP I got from the level up, it's a lot easier to take on that. But anyways, we got the medicine for Scavers. We should now deliver it. And here we overhear a conversation between Ronnie's parents. That there's a murderer set on the loose. That surely us, as the simple teenagers we are, we won't have to pay attention to that. So here we meet our other protagonist, and I want to take a second here so we can all appreciate Hermione's portrait. She's got a pretty manly chin. It's even manlier than mine, dude. There is a lot of interesting stylistic choices, because you can clearly tell that different people did different portraits, and some have more dedication than others. At any rate, here we have our first choice of the game. It's a common tendency of the game to force specific parties on us for different dungeons, and depending on the party members you pick, you get to explore a certain path, because our field skills are also unique to every character. Like, only Harry can cast Lumos, and Hermione's also got her own repertoire of spells that only she can use. We're taking Hermione's path here because it's a lot easier to dodge enemies on this path. Like, the hallways are not nearly as narrow. So, alright. It's better to get that down there. Hermione and Ronnie's pets have a little fight. But here they are, and we can now just move on. Alright, now Ronnie's parents are going to take us to the Hogwarts Express, so we can actually get our school year started. I hear that very often. Like the first comparison people make when watching this game is that it was inspired by Golden Sun, and I have no idea. It was made by Kryptonite Games. It was developed by them and published by EA Games. But there is certain similarities to Golden Sun. I'm not gonna deny that. Especially with the battle perspective. Oh boy, I wonder what is going on here. The lights went out. And suddenly some Dementors attack. Dementors are spooky ghost guys we don't want to encounter under any circumstances. So now we gotta defend Harry from them. If I am quick enough here, I can skip some dialogue because the game wants you to handle the Dementors by throwing down these crowbars, but you don't actually have to do that. You can just let the Dementors break down the doors and just go on with your life. You'll see that Lupin or Dark Arts Professor still intervenes regardless, but it's actually faster to just play out the cutscene, lower the crowbars, and get experience that I get from the events as well. So here, we're gonna go with Ron. Ron gets a much shorter run than Hermione. The trade-off though is that he gets a tougher boss battle because it has a couple enemies instead of the Lonesome Snake. But we can just finish the spider really quickly with a tech, with a throwing tech roundhouse. And then the spider, the snake itself is relatively easy to pick off. Also, because of the extra experience I got at the start of the game on the first dungeon, I'm also slightly higher level than I usually am by this point, so that's gonna make these starting battles a little easier. All right, we retrieve some chocolate for our boy Harry, who has a crippling disease. He needs some sugar to wake up from encountering the Dementors. That was Ron's mission. Hermione's mission was just telling the conductor to get the train rolling again. And let's deliver the chocolate back to Harry. No one screamed. Right, that's that. Let's magically teleport into Hogwarts. And meet our good friend, our nemesis, Draco Malfoy. Don't worry about him, he's not important. He doesn't do that much in the plot anyway. So, Hogwarts is going to be our primary hub for the vast majority of the game. We're going to explore the entire castle right now and battle enemies that are far too overpowering for us. But we'll just stick to the curriculum, just start the day. But for that we have to assemble into the Gryffindor common room. Fortunately, it's we got this portrait room that connects every room every floor in the castle, so we can use that as a shortcut to navigate the entire area. All right. So now we got a little bit of news from McGonagall. She says that there is a murderer on the loose, tying back to what Ronnie's parents were talking about. And they are increasing security in the castle. Let's grab this chest over here, and we can get the day started. Our first class is going to be Transfiguration. Surely we will learn new and exciting things considering that we are third year students. This is how my chat feels like every day. Okay, for this part, we are forced into a party of Harry and Hermione. Our task for the day is exploring the Transfiguration maze. Obviously, every class has to have a dungeon. So, we got a little bit of an interesting movement tech here, because the Flipendo hitbox is fairly large, like it's larger than it suggests, so sometimes I can use it to interact with two objects at once, which becomes a lot clearer on this column puzzle over here. Because if I position myself just right, I can push these two columns at once, and that saves a little bit of casting time. It's also worth noting that enemies flat out block spells I cast on the field. So I gotta be careful about how I launch those around them. Alrighty. Make another backup here because this is the one of the tougher gatekeepers in the run. So for whatever reason, Crab and Goyle are just hanging around here. They sneaked into the Transfiguration maze for no particular reason, but we will start seeing the few special techniques unique to every character. So Harry has access to these card combinations. For now, I don't have a lot of them, and I can cast these lodgers I've been collecting around. A bit of chocolate frogs in order to deal some AoE damage to both Crab and Goyle. This battle is actually deceptively dangerous, because Crab and Goyle deal a lot of damage. Crab is the shorter guy, Goyle is the taller one. I want to kill Goyle first because he deals more damage than Crab. If we are fortunate enough, we won't have we can make him just fine. Crab here is weak to Vermilius. Vermilius is cheaper than Incendio as well. So with the MP I have remaining, we can finish the battle safely enough. Alright, this went very, very smoothly. The battle can get really dicey if both Crab and Goyle go before both of Harry and Hermione. So that means that they get extra attacks of... or if I also get crit. Yeah, there they go. Not sure what the deal with that was, just some standard high school bullying, I guess. Yeah, McGonagall is hanging around here as regular house cat. She got trapped behind some boxes and we gotta help her out. So, for completing Transfiguration, we learned our first spell of the game, which is called Petrificus Totalus. Petrificus Totalus is our first support spell. It's gonna help us quite a bit on a few boss battles. Because what it does is that it has 100% accuracy and it paralyzes the target. And it can paralyze the target from anywhere between 1 to 3 turns. And that can give me quite a bit of leeway before setting up. So yeah, our next class is Michael Creers. We find that Malfoy has been up to some shenanigans and is attempting to sabotage the class by taking our lecture material and spread it throughout the forest. These are of course Monster Book of Monsters, and Hagrid, as the responsible teacher he is, tells us to go collect this for him. So we're gonna help him out because we like Hagrid. So, here's the first book. We're gonna fight 5 books in total. And all of these battles are fairly similar between one another, but this is an excellent chance to catch up on experience, because as the game goes on, you will notice, yikes, the level gap between me and the enemies. So there you got a clear example of two examples of the ruling forces of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. The ruling forces are misses and crits. And this can totally change how battles behave, depending on how lucky or unlucky I get. Okay. That was a little unlucky, but we can manage. So, every attack I cast and every enemy attack has a chance of missing, and the same holds true for crits. Crits only deal double damage. As a rule of thumb, if I miss, I lose 20 seconds, and if I hit a crit, I gain 20 seconds or some such. At the start of the battle, I had Hermione cast an experience buffing spell called Good Study Habits. That boosts the experience I get after the battle by 25%. So something important to note is that every time I level up, that helps me out, because it fully replenishes my SP and MP to max. So part of the routing of this game is very carefully managing my experience. So I get a full restore between every battle. Given how under level I am, I have a really tight MP pool to work with, so it helps a lot to get it restored. Okay, one more incendio to the trick. And there he goes. That's the second book. They're gonna be using the same Lumos tech to dispel it, so I can switch a little quicker, and if I get lucky here, there are no enemies. If I position myself just right, I can cut those 4 waves on the same Difindo cast, but it's a little tricky to get down. Well, I'm done setting up my experience for the remainder of the game. I only gotta use a couple good study habits, and that fixes any experience fluctuations. So I think this is a good time to explain a little about the spells that Harry gave us at the start of this segment. Harry got a Difindo. Difindo is just another variation of a spell typing. Let's call it. It just cuts things. It's pretty nice, but for some reason, a lot of the bosses in the game are weak to Difindo, so. Harry is gonna carry my offense for boss battles for quite some time. Hermione got Glacius. It's basically a stronger Incendio that costs more MP, but the technique that Ron obtained is a lot more helpful. He obtained Spongify. Spongify is a supporting tech that cuts enemy damage in half, so that's also gonna be very important for bosses. I am not liking this missile. It's alright. It's not a good mood tonight. Make it out with a few crits, huh? Since Harry ran out of MP, I can only cast Flipendo with him. Flipendo is our most basic spell. It's also notorious for having the fastest attack animation. So I try to use Flipendo when I can, but it's not very strong, so the situation doesn't come out often. At least we got a level up here, so we should be good to go for the next book. We only got one to go. Okay, this battle is just gonna consummate everything we've been using on the previous book battles. Alright, also glad the audio sync issues have been solved. Alright. I'm gonna do a backup here because if the game decides to be mean, I'm gonna have to restart the room from the very beginning. But here we have our first real boss, the Venomous Tentacula. We're going to buff up Harry with proper one technique, because this guy is weak to Diffindo. Let's take advantage of Petrificus Totalus to skip a few attack animations. Yeah man, books are even my homework here. I'm just trying to study and... Oh wow, good. That is a really good crit. That is exactly the kind of crit I want to see on the big hits. Something nice about the run is Wizard Cracker is that it has no chance of missing, and do I hate missing. So that's good for a little bit of damage backup. Alright, and that's that. We can now get out of the forest, deliver the books, make our good old friend Hagrid proud, and continue with the class. As this is Magical Creatures, certainly Hagrid has something interesting to show to us. Here we are presented to the friendly neighborhood hippogriff, Buckbeak. Buckbeak, however, is not fond of Yerks, and he assaults Malfoy. Completely out of Hagrid's control. However, this is a chance for Harry to bond with Buckbeak. Because he likes the guy. He doesn't like Harry. And we got a minigame here that fortunately we can skip. There is a handful of minigames throughout the course of the storyline, but you don't have to play any of them or get any high scores. It's a little dumb when games do that. Alright, that's it for Magical Creatures. I'm gonna take a small detour here for a piece of armor. That's gonna help out a lot on the next bosses. I normally don't do this on PB attempts, but you can never be too safe. Trust me guys when I say that this game is an RNG hellhole. If things decide to go south, at least I'm gonna have all the backup I can. We need a Alohomora for this though. Alohomora is a very effective spell. It not only clears locks, but it also vaporizes the doors it opens. It's pretty nice. But here we get a very strong cloak. It's basically an endgame level cloak, and it's gonna help me survive 2 to 3 more attacks on average from any enemy. And now we can continue with our day. Our next class is potions. And we all know our boy Snape is very fond of Harry and the party. They have a heartwarming relationship, to say the least. And naturally, potions is at the basement of the castle, on the lower ends of the scum. Alright, notice the Slytherin students? Here I also want to take a second so we can all look at Snape's portrait. Not sure what's going on with his eyes, but they look dead inside. Okay, for this path we're gonna take Ron and Hermione. Once again, the marathon safe route. The current route uses Harry and Hermione because they get more late game utility than Ron does. Let's put it that way. However, the boss is a lot more difficult with Harry and Hermione. If I don't get from 2 to 3 turns of paralysis from Petrificus Totalus, the boss is nearly impossible to survive. So Ron is Spongify is gonna basically guarantee victory. Oh no! Couldn't do much about that Spongify landing. The enemy just decided to be on the landing spot. Alright. For potions, we have a task of collecting ingredients from this dungeon. We gotta collect 5 ingredients in total, the boss included as an ingredient for us. Ron's pad is a little slower than Harry's pad, particularly because the hallways are so narrow that it's difficult to dodge enemies. At least we're barely getting spawns here, so that's gonna make it easier to explore this place. Yeah, let's hope I didn't forget any ingredients, because I've been getting a bad habit of just exploring this place and just flat out forgetting something on the way out. Alright. Here's our next boss, the River Troll. I'm going to Petrificus first, even though I'm not a big fan of wasting Hermione's MP. It's really important that I get a Spongify off with Ron. Ron has the unfortunate title of being the slowest thing in the game, like enemies included. He cannot outspeed anything. So generally he's always sitting last on the turn sequence. Okay, let's get a start here. I'm gonna buff Hermione because this guy is weak to Glacius. Pretty much the only enemy where that spell is worth using. But yeah, this battle is extremely difficult to survive with Harry and Hermione, because the River Troll deals nearly 60 damage per attack without a Spongify. Spongify makes this a lot more bearable. I didn't get lucky with my Petrificus Totalus turns either, so that totally changes the pace of the battle. Hit Hermione, please. Alright, I kinda want the damage to be spread out between both Hermione and Ron. This guy is only focusing fire on Ron, so that's it's been a bit of an issue. That's alright, I think Ron has, I believe, his use, so it's fine if he dies by this point. Although I would prefer if he would stay alive so I can restore Hermione's SP one last time. Getting some crits will be really good too. Okay. A few more Incendios to do. I don't have any MP restoration items, so we're kinda stuck with Flipandos on Ronnie's end. Alright, perfect. That's for that boss. Unfortunately, sort of, this guy gives me a lot of experience, so I am basically guaranteed a level up after the boss. And I say unfortunately because it would be really nice if I could do a dead warping strat here. Because if you die on the potion sequence, you get teleported back to the start of the room. But because of the SP restoration, it basically takes longer for the enemies to kill me than it is for me to exceed on my own. So it's a shame that I cannot apply that kind of tech throughout the route, because the few times where dead warping is actually possible, it's not very useful. Don't land on the enemy! No! At least I am getting some faster runaways. Sometimes I can fail to flee enemies like 3 times and it's switch as locked with enemy animations. Hey, we have completed the potion. The sentient Game Boy SP is gonna help us assemble the concoction, and that'll be that for this class. So as a reward, we learn Wingardium Leviosa. It's another variant of offensive spells that I never use except for the final boss, because everything is either immune or weak to Wingardium Leviosa. There is no in between. Alright. I usually don't grab this chest, but it's just gonna be backup in case a boss later on goes alright. Keeping those chocolate frogs in mind. I've been collecting them all over the speedrun, but they don't come into play until the very last leg of the game. But when they do, oh boy, things are going to change. So our next class is Dark Arts, or Frank Lupin. Being the good teacher he is, he's going to expose a handful of students to their worst phobias. Good guy. Good guy, Lupin. It's kind of funny how Nebuly's phobia is Snape, like the teacher himself. He's deathly afraid of him. And here, Harry wonders why Lupin didn't let him partake in the exercise. And that's because Lupin, thinking ahead with his foresight, he knew that Harry's worst fear at the moment are Dementors, which could have threatened the students. But he's like, yo dude, don't worry, I'm gonna help you out with that at some other point. So we just leave it at that. For now, let's assemble back into the Gryffindor common room. Our classes for the day are pretty much done. For some reason they let animals hang out on the common room. I need some I need some Benny Hill music playing here. I'm telling you, the Scavengers is one of the most important NPCs in this game. Yep, appears all the time. Yeah, let's go help the Scavengers out. We don't care about the cat. Yeah, the gameplay of these games is a total 180 from most of the other Harry Potter games. This is a reprise of the RPG style that the GBA Philosopher's Stone and Chamber of Secrets had. It's a total RPG adventure, which I think fits the universe very well. So anyway, we found that the Gryffindor common room that's guarded by a portrait. The portrait has gone missing, and we gotta go find it. All of the portraits in this castle are sentient, and they just kind of function as a security service. Is that slavery? I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna go take the grand staircase because it's faster than using the shortcuts from the portrait room. And here is the portrait we're looking for. Now let's just go back. By the way, navigating this staircase is a nightmare, like the hitboxes all over the place. Because you can sometimes just press the wrong direction and go back down through the stairs, and the game doesn't let you turn around. It's difficult to explain how the movement in this game behaves unless you play it yourself. Because at a high level, you sometimes find that corners exist where they shouldn't be. The directional pad is a lie. It's all wonderful. Anyway, we got Harry back, and we gotta continue part 2 of Dark Arts. So we gotta go to the Dark Arts classroom to get that done. For this one though, it is faster to take the portrait shortcuts. Let's just hang out with our boy Lupin, an easy class. However, we find Snape is covering for Lupin today. Interesting. Well, our task for this class is writing a report in nearly 30 minutes. This kind of reminds me of all the impossible tasks I had to do in college, but nonetheless, we shall endure. We're gonna make a report on werewolves. Why werewolves in particular? I have no clue. Certainly we will never encounter a werewolf in our lives and have to worry about knowing this information. That is our homework, and we're going to the library to build us a great report to impress Snape. Alright, so the lady here tells us that the book we're looking for is actually torn apart. It's been spread out all over the library, and we gotta find the pages and assemble them. Because the lady cannot do her job, much like Hagrid. But there's only 5 pages to collect. There's some other goodies I gotta grab. Once again, more chocolate frogs that will come into play in due time. We do not... well, we do play Quidditch, you'll see. It happens in special ways now. We technically play Quidditch, let's put it that way. Alrighty, hopefully I don't mess up this puzzle, because I've been having a hard time like just wrapping my head around how to finish these things lately. Alright. What experience I get from these random events is all part of the route, by the way. Like, I needed these random events in order to set my experience properly for restoration level ups. Okay. So, who could possibly savor the pages from books? Of course, it's our friend, the Monster Book of Monsters. For some reason, Ron managed to speed it for once. Wow. Alright, but this is just going to be a consummate of all our knowledge and of the entire repertoire of spells we have access to right now. First things first, I buff Harry because Defender is still our strongest offense against the books, and then I spongify the little guy to help cushion his attacks better. Look at that damage, dude. That would deal 70 damage without the spongify. And given my level, I can barely survive that. Not a good miss. That's fine though. We're gonna Petrificus to give us some leeway. Hopefully get a handful of paralysis turns if we can. Okay, good. I just feel like a bully just paralyzing the book with a sponge bind. Okay, we start Cracker, so we have no chance of missing the attack. Something important to note here is that I am having Hermione use Incendio as much as possible throughout the run. You might notice that most of my spells have this nomenclature, like they got the Incendio Uno prefix, suffix, pardon me. So like there is Incendio Uno, Flipendo Uno, and the reason is that there is actually upgrades to your spells. You can get Flipendo Duo and whatnot, and this is built after using a certain spell enough times. Every time you cast a spell, you get points towards that upgrade, and you get a quite a stronger version of your spells whenever you hit those benchmarks. So the only benchmark I want to hit is Incendio Duo on Hermione, because that's gonna help out on a boss later on. Okay. I think I defeat the can KO from this range. Not quite, not quite. We need a little bit more damage. Hey, that's all for the book. It's the only book we battle on this, on the library. And the last one, as a matter of fact. Okay, there's only one page left to collect. Ah! Calm down, Spongify. Don't want to waste time. Something worth mentioning is that I really want Harry to get level 12 before we encounter the next boss. And I can mostly build that off of random events. I'm gonna get 90 experience in total between here and the next boss. This is normally not an issue if I take the Harry Hermione back on potions. Also, Hermione reveals her inner fury here. I know why the howl is necessary, but if you're building a report, I guess it's better to get in character. Well, let us go back to Dark Arts. We're just gonna trust Hermione's judgment. She said that the report was gonna be complete on our way there, so hey. Let's see what happens. We have no rapport, however. But Hermione, at the at the speed of sound completes a report for us. Which also impresses Snape. That is, in and of itself, an accomplishment. It's a little suspicious how quickly she got it down, though. Maybe she's a speedrunner. What's that? We have officially ended our classes for the day. Let's go take a quick break back at the Gryffindor common room and see what we can do. Hermione's gonna spend a lot of time off the party now because she just gets suspicious and does things on her own. I don't know. I'm not gonna use her. Here we find that somebody put a brand new broom for Harry for Quidditch matches. And we also have a budget Wingardium Leviosa. They didn't have the budget to show us how Harry lifted that from the board there. That's a common trend with this game. Like you can see that there's a lot of heart put into the game. There is very good. Like the spell animations are really well made. The soundtrack is very good for a GBA game, considering how bad this can be with compressing. But then it really hurts in other areas. I'm gonna blame it on budgeting. Yeah, we got a brand new Firebolt, a broom, and we're gonna show it off to Hagrid, because Hagrid is basically Harry's paternal figure, I think. And we're like, yo, Hagrid, check out my new thing. And Hagrid is just in pain. He received a notification from the Council of Magic, I think, that the Buckbeak, the friendly hippogriff we met earlier, is about to be executed because he assaulted Malfoy earlier. And we all know that Malfoy's got those connections, so that is the easiest way he could get vengeance back on Buckbeak. And now our task is to become hippogriff lawyers. We're gonna research hippogriff law and see if there is a way we can save Buckbeak from his untimely fate. So back to the library with us. We're just gonna read a book and pretend we are professionals. Yeah, shout out to getting experience for walking. Alright, but we found the book. Things don't look good, I am afraid. It doesn't look like we can save Buckbeak through the love system. As usual, the love system is disappointing. We gotta go find Hermione. The game is not clear about where Hermione is at all. Like, she's just hanging out here on the second floor for no particular reason. So you can spend years looking throughout the entire castle just to find that Hermione is just here. But yeah, we just report to Hermione, see if she can do anything with this information, and it's time for dinner. We gotta clothe ourselves. We need energy for what's coming ahead of us. So we find that McGonagall here is gonna confiscate Harry's brand new broom. I'm not sure why he's carrying it around all the time, but it could be dangerous due to all the murderer threats that hang around this castle. And for Christmas dinner, we could play Candy Crush knockoff, or maybe Candy Crush copied Harry Potter? I don't know. But Lupin interjects and tells Harry that he could have some private sessions with him to help him out with his Dementor problems. I'm sure this will be wildly inappropriate in any other context, but hey, Lupin looks like a cool guy. Here we go. Here we learn Expecto Patronum, nothing special about it. But we get the level up to level 12, which is what I really care for Harry. That means that he gets 40 MP, and that's enough for 4 Diffindo casts, which is gonna be of utmost importance for the next boss. You may notice these random NPCs throughout the castle. They are actually randomly generated. Like, you can re-enter the room and see a different NPC hanging around the castles. They don't say anything very important, but I like that. It's a nice attention to detail. Yeah, Ron is having an episode of schizophrenia here. He thinks somebody is attacking him or otherwise wants to murder him. But we got a Quidditch match right now. It happened off-screen because of budgeting reasons. But hey, Harry presumably did a good job given all these accolades he's getting. Yeah, let us get some good earned rest. However, Ron continues with his episodes and finds his bed torn apart. He's suspicious that the murderer that's supposedly hanging around the castle is at fault here. The murderer is called Sirius Black, and we're about to learn more about him in due time. There is 5 to 6 minigames. You can unlock another one after you beat the game. They're pretty fun. You get your Candy Crush clone, something. I think there was, like, in the data of the game, there is like this drinking game or something, like where Harry's a bartender, and but it didn't get released for natural reasons, censoring, keeping the rating. Well, now we find Hermione's cat just hanging around with a wolf. Surely nothing terrible will happen to the cat. Spoilers, we never see the cat again. Yeah, we find a note on our bed. Hagrid tells Harry that Buckbeak's execution is to be due tonight, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. Or can we? Right, let's go see what we can do for our boy Buckbeak. We kinda like him, he's a cool hippogriff. So, we are about to do our first and last store visit in the game. I've basically been holding all the money and all the equipment I could up to this very point. And there is a very important reason for that. I wanna have all the money I can. So I'm gonna make a backup here because the things I can get from the store are random, but trust me, it's not as bad as it sounds. But first I wanna get rid of all my random junk. I also never equipped that cape that was supposed to put on Hermione. Gonna do that in just a bit. So we're gonna get some MP restoration items, and then all the chocolate frogs that money can buy. Because we love chocolate. Sugar is good, as well as diabetes. But yeah, here I need to check something. I get random cards on the chocolate frogs, and I need to see if I have enough to complete the game. Okay. Yeah, we have barely enough to get through the game. Perfect. Let's continue. So now Harry will start displaying his true power now that I have collected these chocolate frogs. Basically, Harry has access to card combinations, and he can use one card combination per 3 chocolate frogs he has of that corresponding combination. And the array of combinations you get with Harry is incredibly versatile. Like, he can do things between damaging enemies to restoring your health to max, which is incredibly OP. So basically all the money I get was to have a room for error in case I didn't get enough chocolate frogs for my card combinations. But yeah, we are looking very nice here. I have enough chocolate frogs for what I need to do. And you will see Harry's true potential come out. Just a few. So, who here is ready to listen to voice acting? Because, oh boy, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban has voice acting. Enjoy. Oh no! Ron is getting kidnapped! Whatever shall we do? I gotta help our buddy. The wolf is drying him places, I don't know why. But it's time. Gonna make a backup here because this next boss can get ugly. Here we're gonna battle a tree, the Whomping Willow. First things first, I want to Petrificus Totalus again. And then set up my party with the card combinations. So the first thing we're going to do is use Girdinal. Girdinal is effectively the same thing as a Spongify. It cuts any damage I receive in half. So that's gonna make things a lot more survivable, per se. Next we're gonna buff Harry, because Harry is... the Whomping Willow is weak to getting caught. He's a tree, it's natural. But then I'm also gonna set up extra experience so we can get like, a really good chunk of level ups out of this boss to set us up for the next one. And last but not least, I'm going to Fumos. I've been having access to Fumos for a while now, but this is a fierce battle where it's worldwide usually. I just want to shield Harry from damage. Fumos just increases the chances of enemies missing. As you can see, it's not foolproof, but we can make do. So here we start seeing a trend in... Oh, nice crit. We start seeing a trend on how I handle bosses for the remainder of the game. I have one character for offense and one character for support. So like one character just focuses on dealing all the damage they can with their strongest spell, and the other character makes sure that we continue dealing that damage continuously. Pardon the redundancy, but nobody's stopping the Defindo train. Oh yeah, that's supposed to show the hour mark. It's a really skinny one, don't worry. Just went to the gym. Okay, I'm gonna take a small risk here. I'm gonna restore Harry's MP so we can keep casting Defindo. But the Whomping Willow could snipe Harry with a crit right now. I'm just gonna hope that doesn't happen, but knowing this game, I already jinxed it by calling it that. Although Hermione can finish the battle. Okay. No crits, nice. The game taking it easy on me. And there is the Incendio Duo I was talking about. This is not the battle where I need Incendio Duo for, but it'll come in to play right around the corner. Well, I know this looks like literally Golden Song, but no, I'm pretty sure it's not the same engine because it had different developers. I think they just took inspiration. They just looked like Golden Sun and said, "Wow, RPGs look pretty nice if you do them this way." Anyway, here we are at the Shrieking Shack. We're here. I don't know why it's called the Shrieking Shack either, but we're gonna spend the next a good part of 10 minutes on this engine. Got some darkness puzzles, but this is not too difficult to navigate. I know the layout in my head. Okay, but sometimes enemies just refuse to move the way, so I gotta clear them out. It's at this point of the game where enemies get prohibitively savage. It's like they're gonna murder me if I get into a random encounter, so I gotta be really cautious about that. So for this part we're gonna pick Harry. It's a lot faster than Hermione's pad, and we also want Harry to pick up on experience because he gets some bonus from finishing a puzzle here. Hermione's pad is 4 carries and actual nightmare. Like, she gets an ice puzzle where she has to push barrels around. It takes an eternity. No, we still got quite a bit of game left. Do not worry. The true final boss of this game is is a treaty. Alright. So for a Shrieking Shack, we got these fountains, these water fountains that we gotta push out with these levers scattered all throughout the dungeon. There is 5 water fountains in total, and we need them, and so we can freeze them with a glacius spell in order to create a platform to move on. So we're gonna spend some time doing that. Now here, if I am fast enough with my movement, I can get a random encounter. No, I can try to pass all these bridges on a single Lumos cast, but sometimes I can get interrupted like that. It's alright though. Okay, I got a ball handle. Thank you very much, Game Boy SP. That's a tier fort. Now that is the fort, the water fountain. There's only one room left. But yeah, let's see if I can try to get to clear those bridges on a single Lumos on the way back. So I should cast it right around here, I think. Come on, come on! Nice! Gotta save those frames, man. So for the last room, we got a nice puzzle. You're supposed to move like on straight lines, but you can actually cheese this puzzle by moving diagonally, because the game lets you do that. This could be bad. This is why this is bad. These skeletons have the property of paralyzing my characters. Well then, let's just hope that Hermione can clear out the paralysis soon enough. There we go. Our boy Harry, the boy who lived, is gonna leave again. Let's go. Dude, if only I could get this paralysis lock on bosses instead of getting healed with it, it would be really nice. Let's also equip that cloak and Hermione that I keep forgetting to do. I did tour for this and stole 5 boss battles until I got to equip that. No, the bridges do not exist. Like, it looks like Lumos is revealing the bridges, but they are not physically present until I use the spell. So I'm not a big fan of this enemy movement. Right. Okay, we're gonna take an intentional dead warp here because I need to restore my SP, and when you die, you get your SP restored to max. So we can also take advantage of that and leave the room immediately. Of course, when I want the paralysis just to not consume spell animations, to watch the spell animations, I don't get it. Classic Harry Potter, dude. But I am way too low on SP to try and tackle the next boss. Let's go to listen to the battle team. Thank you, dude. It only took you 5 years. Could have been a lot faster, but the skeletons just decided to kill Harry until the last second. Oh well. But what matters here is that I got the SP restoration. we can move on. We got all the water fountains, so we can access the next portion of the dungeon. If somebody can please research a nice the fountain escape, I would be greatly appreciative of it. It was a lot of time to know how to do that. So, we are at last at the Shrieking Shack. Not sure why it's called like this, that it's just a regular house, but it just has this title. So we find Ron with Scavers, and we meet at last the famous murderer, Sirius Black. And before we cave his cranium in, Lupin interjects and reveals that Scavers here is none other but some dude whose name I cannot remember. Peter. But he's actually a crony for Voldemort and has been spying on us on the guys as Ron is pet. And Sirius also explains his cause that he was set up for murder or something for defying Voldemort. I don't remember the specifics, but Sirius is a cool dude and we like cool dudes. And because we are also the pride of family, we shall let we are going to help out Sirius. This is a nice trade-off. We did him a favor and we gotta do... he did us a favor, so we gotta do him a favor. Alright. But now that we have the entire party assembled, they are not here with us though. They are here in the spirit. We can leave the Shrieking Shack. Wow, nice. Good movement, good movement. Okay, I'm gonna make it back up here. I don't really need to because this boss is safe enough with these strats. Just in case. Alright, we got another variant of River Troll. This one is not particularly weak to any element except for Incendio. Yeah, let's get our standards battle set up here. Petrificus Totalis to give me some time. And use... Come on, dude. Just use Harry's spells. So anyway, the extra experience I used back on the Whomping Willow gives me enough MP on Hermione to cast a bunch of Incendio Duos. Incendio Duo is the upgraded version of Incendio Uno. Usually I get the spell right in this battle, but I think I had a few more Incendio casts than usual, so I got it before the fact. So, Incendio Duo is a very strong spell, but it's pretty expensive to use, but I do have the resources to sustain it, so it's fine. Okay. Because we shall reveal Harry's, the cards he has up his sleeve, literally. He has Replenish SP, which restores MP to max. Here we can truly appreciate how overpowered Harry's card combinations are. He's basically a one-man army. And as such is our most critical party member as well. There is no better way to deal damage to this guy besides Incendio Duo. And like, it's not even that much better than Incendio Uno, it's like just 20 more damage than per cast. But let's just skip that. It can also hurt a lot if we get a crit with it. Okay, Harry's trading on danger, so let's restore our health. Use a potion. The animation is a little faster than having to use Replenish MP, and the input is not nearly as intricate. Nope. As far as I know, only the first 3 installments of the franchise were turned into RPGs for the Game Boy Advance. The rest are just like adventure games, which are really weird looking. Like the 6th game is quite a thing. So getting a good chunk of level ups here. My levels don't really matter for the next boss. Yeah, there goes the gatekeeper. We can move on with our lives. Oh wow, I got a moonwalk with Harry. I don't know what triggers this, but he's just summoning Snape into place, I guess. But yeah, Snape has found our little adventure here. A serious murder Snape. No, just kidding. He just sets him unconscious. He just puts him unconscious so we can run away. And a lot of things are happening right now. I skipped that cutscene. Basically, Lupin turned into werewolf. Sirius was damaged in the fight. Then the mentors come to retrieve Sirius Black. It's another brightest moment. A lot of things are not going right here. And then we just go back to the infirmary to reassemble, assess the situation. Ron is also dead. He will be decommissioned for the remainder of the game, and we will only continue our adventure with both Harry and Hermione. But now, Hermione reveals her Spearon techniques, which are save states. No, just kidding. She got permission from Dumbledore to use the Time Turner. That is a thing that McGonagall gave her like way earlier in the game, when we first went to the Gryffindor common room. And that thing lets her go back in time. So we're gonna use it to fix parts of this tram break. Our first order is going to be helping out Buckbeak, because as you remember, he got executed and he's dead. So we're gonna bring him back. Alright, there's Buckbeak. Alright, this is part 1 of the operation. The second part is helping the party out with the whole werewolf looping problem. And you may notice that I have been short a party member slot for the entire game. And I don't know, maybe handling looping with both Harry and Hermione is gonna be a little tough for us to handle. If only somebody could feel that remaining spot in our party to help us out. If only. And there is! We're gonna use our boy Buckbeak himself to help out with this boss battle. So, this battle is pretty unique in the fact that it's unlike every other battle in the game. Like, it has a very specific set of rules that we gotta follow. First things first, though, I'm gonna extra experience to give us a chunk of levels for the final boss. And we're gonna let Buckbeak go ham at looping here. So, the first rule of this battle is looping will only target Buckbeak and no one else than Buckbeak. So we're only going to focus our restoration with him. The second rule is that looping has extreme resistance to every spell I can cast. Like, max resistance. He's blatantly immune to every spell in the game. To Flipendo, Incendio, Wingardium Leviosa, there is nothing I can use to deal damage to this guy, so only Buckbeak can claw away at his defense. However, Harry has access to his card combinations. And the thing about these combinations is that all the offensive combinations that Harry gets deal fixed damage. They deal a 20 fixed damage to all enemies, and they are pretty underwhelming on casual gameplay. Because by the point they use, you can actually spam chocolate frogs, you don't need to deal 20 damage to enemies, like you can deal better damage with AoE spells with Inner Wing, with some upgraded versions of the Handheld. But for this battle, they pose a very useful tech, because they deal fixed damage, they don't care about the looping his experience. So we're gonna have Harry help Buckbeak out with some cheap damage. And the kill roll of this battle is that if Buckbeak dies, it's game over. We get sent back to the infirmary. He can also paralyze, he hasn't done anymore. But yeah, you can see that Hermione is dealing no damage with Flipendo, and that's gonna hold true for all her other spells. I'm gonna restore speed because I'm afraid that Lupin is gonna crit the Buckbeak. If that happens, it's all over with. Also, this music is amazing, by the way. I love this battle team. Alright. I'm using Bloodjars, sorry because these things are so loud. They have the fastest attack, the fastest animation out of any attacking combos. Nice damage, Hermione, we're proud of you. I guess we can also use this, it's I call it the box champion charm. It's a second slower than Bloodjars, because it generates a lot of lag. But it's a good backup in case I run out of Bloodjars, which is something I was afraid of would happen in this round, but it wasn't necessary. So yeah, I think Buckbeak can finish off Lopping at this range. I don't want to waste time casting another unnecessary spell and another unnecessary Bloodjars. End him! Alrighty. Shout out to Buckbeak. And you can see I'm gonna get a disgusting amount of level ups here. But we will need this for a final boss. Alright, now we gotta rescue Harry from the Dementors. He's gonna expel his inner moves. Hell yeah! Let's go, that's that. Now we gotta retrieve a Sirius from... leave the game. We gotta retrieve Sirius from the prison of Azkaban. Evidently, two teenagers can come into this... can come into the prison and... just randomly retrieve prisoners. Top security here, boys and girls. Alright, we're gonna pick the Hermione path because she got a nice puzzle and it doesn't have any enemies in it. Well, it can have one here on this passage, which there is. But it's a lot friendlier than Harry's path. Harry gets some flamethrowers and insta-kill him or something like that. It's kinda rude. We don't like rude things. Alright guys, I'm gonna need you to put some bets here. We're about to battle the final boss of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance. Voldemort is not on this plot, like, at all. Who could possibly stand as our tallest, as our worst enemy yet? Who could put a stop to Harry's plan? Think, my friends. It is none other than Draco Malfoy, just hanging around here for no reason. So, we're gonna buff Hermione up. The Petrificus first, meantime. No, no! Please. My Petrificus Talus Lock has been on the dumps. Alright, but this is the boss I was talking about that is weak to Wingardium Leviosa. Because of all those level ups I got on Lopen, I can sustain spamming Wingardium Leviosa. I can have forecast the restoration. So that's gonna melt through Malfoy's HP quite handily. Right? At least we're getting lucky with the crits here. The world record for this game gets like 4 crits on Malfoy, so something ridiculous like that. You just cannot compete with it. Ouch. Good job, Malfoy. Oh, Malfoy is pretty notorious in the fact that he's like one of the 3 enemies in the game that damage the magic defense stat. It's like only him and Crabbe and Goyle hit the magic defense. Not like it matters much because getting all the steel filters that damage out. It's just weird how they developed this entire stuff just to be used by 3 enemies in the entire game. Okay, no need to restore Harry's MP. We're almost done with the battle. Let's just go for a few incendios, the cheap way out Malfoy. crits. I usually get at least one crit on Malfoy, but that's another such an 89. I think we can kill from this range though. Ah, and there he goes. Goodbye, Draco. You won't be missed. Okay. And timing ends now. 1:24:45. That is pretty good for a marathon route because I take a lot of liberties to make sure we don't have to die to enemies. Like, it's very easy to die to things in this game. So I'm pretty pleased with that time. That's pretty good. Anyway, we have met Sirius. He was hanging out with Buckbeak here this entire time, so he could just flown off without our intervention, but hey. Go! We'll see each other again. You are truly your father's son, Harry. You were born from a father and mother. Congratulations. Sirius, goodbye. And there you go, guys. That was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban for the Game Boy Advance. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a fun game. Despite what suggests that I think this game is garbage, I actually have a lot of fun playing this. But yeah, that'll be that for me tonight. Thank you for having me. I also spearhead other RPGs like Reign, Historia, and Final Fantasy V if you want to check that out. I don't know. But that was a good run. Pleased with that. Good luck with the rest of the marathon.